Shakar Hala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kwakadash, the water, Kwam Yasharala. I'd like to give them honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teaches the truth, which I believe through the Holy Spirit is 100% truth. Just do in transit or walk and talk. Actually, I'm on my way to do my walk, but I figure I'd go ahead and start recording now while I'm driving. And like I said, basically general topics, man. Things that relate to this truth, And a lot of what I was talking about is like the food here is so bad, man, and what it does to the system, and it helps your body speeds up the aging process, man, where your cells are broken down much faster. And this food that we have does not help regenerate or repair the cells. It breaks down in your body. As you get older, these cells continue to break down, and you have to replenish them, man. And if they don't get replenished, the aging process, it speeds up. It goes much faster. And you look at our women now. It's really, but mainly the women, because you can definitely see the effect on the women more so because the women of our nation, man, naturally has a beautiful shape figure, Our women really are the most beautiful women on the planet in her natural state. The skin, the wide hips, thick thighs, and our women are naturally gifted when it comes to that, women of our nation. But you can see the effects of it that it had on our women, mainly here in Babylon the Great, man. Because a lot of our women, and if you notice them, man, they're more like my uncle used to always call them big blocks, man. They like a 4x4. Their body's more square shaped now. And our women, they used to be like that, man. Our women always had beautiful figures, and all the other nation of women always try to emulate them. You always see them white girls going to the gym trying to do those squats to try to build their ass off, so to speak, But our women had it naturally. They didn't have to work out to get those things. But Eve has been programmed. The food already fucking you for one. Now you have Eve today that don't cook. She's they don't cook. They don't work strenuous jobs, physically. And you just pile that on, and then a lot of these Eves, they popping out babies, the ones that do. You have some that just don't even have children at all. But that's a topic for another day. But the ones now, especially that's on the system, that gets on the system, which give them food stamps, food subsidies, and housing. And you know how it was for a long time. If you was on that system, the more babies you had, the more what they used to call food stamps you received. Now I think they call it TANF or something different. But so you had a lot of women started popping out 6, 7 babies, man, so they get them big fat welfare checks and those extra food stamps that a lot of them, if you're in the hood, they take them shits and sell them. But a lot of the shit that she would go to the store and buy just be garbage ass food, man. Because she's not gonna cook. She's sitting on her ass all day. She's steady popping out babies. She's not going to gym to work that shit off. So you can imagine that's how you got a lot of these obese women that's in the hood, man. And then you throw on top of that, they're in these hoods, which is pretty much a food desert. So one generation to the next, they passing on bad eating habits. The shit they do cook is something like hamburger helper and shit. That's very popular in the hood. I used to hear niggas talking about that all the time. Yeah, we have a hamburger helper, or they having hamburger helper. That's what they cooking for their kids and shit. No vegetables, no balanced diet, you know. If they did cook it, want that, you know, it's natural. It's either TV dinners or what they used to call back in the day oodles and noodles. Now they call them ramen noodles and shit. But so they, you know, you pick up these bad eating habits. Then the kids, you know, they feed them junk food all day long. They giving them all types of chips. You know, these Fanta sodas. I think Fanta. Oh, I don't really drink a whole lot of pops and shit. You know, sodas and shit. But Fanta's one of them that's very popular. The real fructose corn syrup, like grape and orange drinks. You know, Fanta's one of them, and another one is like shit, I can't think of it. We used to get those big 3-liter bottles, man, and bring them shits home, and they knock them shits out with a big bag of chips and shit, or Doritos or something, you know, some type of chips. And that's the diet, man, that's consistent in these hoods, man. So you got these kids that are nutrient deficient, not fed a good diet. Then you wonder why these kids are going to school and failing this shit, you know? All that's part of the plan, you know, different ways of attacking the people. And then you, like I was getting back to, you know, you see these, I'm all over the place right now because I'm trying to set up. But you see these baby mamas, man, that's in these hoods, man. And, you know, that's why you see a lot of these Eves, man, with these bad bodies, you know. And this food that they are ingesting, that they put in their body, man, it works against the body. That's why you find these young girls that's growing up in these project communities, you know, they starting their periods at age 9 and 10 years old and shit, you know, which is unnatural. You know, all type of illnesses, man, from eating this garbage, man. Because the body's not able to defend itself, and diseases and all type of things are going to set in. You know, a lot of all type of skin diseases, you know, that they're going to pick up. Respiratory diseases. A lot of kids now, I think majority of them now, they have a problem with the respiratory, different type of asthma or allergies, all type of skin problems, you know, from eczema to just regular, you know, dealing with pimples or acne and shit like that. And majority of that comes from bad eating habits. So Eve, man, yeah, Eve is pretty much destroyed, man. I think I did a video one time, like I said, I was in the store and seen this chick coming in. You know, she's all young chick too, man. Might have been like 21 to 23. Grossly obese, man. Grossly obese, man. Even from my ankles on up. But you know, this habit of bad eating habit for her had to start at a very young age, and you could tell she had kids. She was in there paying for some whole bunch of fried ass food and shit, which you know is not no good for her system. With her EBT card. So that tells you right there she got a bunch of kids probably at the house. You can look at her body and tell. And yeah, it's just sad, man. It's just sad. It's just a repeated cycle, man. Our people definitely in neglect, you know. And that's from being under this oppressor. Because he created this condition that our people are in. This is socially engineered, man. To even create a much more inferior product from one generation to the next. So out here again, trying to walk a little bit. Not a whole lot. Really ain't not feeling it too much today, but just do what I can. And it's good, it's relaxing. Like I said, this time of the evening, though, the weather's not bad. Um, it's not hot. We hadn't gotten some dog days down here, but they are coming. So I have to enjoy this now while I can. Because once it gets hot down here in the summertime, man, it's no let up, it's no relief. Even when the sun goes down, you come out here at 11 o'clock at night, man, and it's still like 90 degrees with humidity on it, with a lot of humidity. Because during that time of the year, the sun heats up the ground so bad that once the sun goes down, man, it's still like a it's like an oven, man. It's almost like an oven, even at night, you know. You walk outside at night and try to sit, and you immediately start sweating, man. So you have to enjoy it now while you have the opportunity. Now I love the summers down. I love the winter time down here because it really doesn't get real cold, but it gets to a point where you can bear it and you can still come out. You know, you can still get around with the jacket on. You don't have to have a coat, but you can get around with, you know, at least a heavy jacket. It's the most you would need, and that's only a few times out of the year. So there's no excuse down here for not getting out and working out, walking, you know. We have to take the time. You have to make the time so we can take the time to do it. And then you have to try to make it a habit, you know. If you keep doing things, I forget what the saying is, if you do it at least 7 times or either 14 times over, then you start to make it a habit. And you do it without even thinking about it. So you have to kind of train ourselves that way, you know. Don't even think about it. You know, a certain time that you're going to do something, kind of put it in your schedule and just go do it, you know, if you can. And before you know it, your body is conditioned to it, and it's like a habit, man. That's one way how you train yourself to do certain things. Now I'm working on also trying to train myself to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I have to be more disciplined and get myself and going to sleep at night at a reasonable time in order to be able to do that. Where I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, read my Bible, definitely do your prayer, you know how that is. And just kind of get my day started, you know. I used to try to do some in-house exercises, like some body squats if I can, you know, do what I can. And something at home to kind of start my metabolism going in the morning. And it might have been Andrew Tate, you know, even though I think he's juiced in. Anybody know about Andrew Tate? But he said something that made a lot of sense too. Don't reward yourself with eating breakfast in the morning if you hadn't done anything. So you want to get your day started first, get your body going, and earn that right to eat breakfast, man. If you're going to have a heavy breakfast in the morning, then you need to do something in the morning that's going to earn the right to put that heavy breakfast on. And if I get up early in the morning and do a good, you know, a decent workout, then I should be able to eat a heavy breakfast. Now, if I get up and I'm not doing anything, something light, then it's a light breakfast. But I don't do anything, then I shouldn't eat a breakfast. You know, you have to earn that first meal of the day, you know, and kind of think of it in those terms. And one thing about getting out walking too, especially after I eat sometime, which I ate probably maybe like an hour ago, when you get out here and walk, and my metabolism starts going, I can feel my body start to break down that food that's in my system. And you don't want to just sit in there, because once it sit in there, it's going to build up toxins in the body, man. So you want to get your metabolism already started, even if it's just a walk, you know. Don't have to be much. Another thing about eating meats, you don't want to overindulge in meats. I think even the scripture tells you that. Don't eat too, not eating a whole lot of meats, They try to push this narrative now that you shouldn't be eating meat at all. Now I get it to a point, especially here in Babylon the Great, because a lot of the meats are tainted with the chemicals and shit that they put in it. But nothing in that Bible tells you not about eating meat, Lord tells you. That's why he, during the time of Noah, you have them to save more of the clean meats that we're supposed to eat, the clean animals. And when he brought one of the people back to life, was the first thing he said, make sure, give him some meat, Meat is a very important part of our diet, We're not strictly carnivores. We're not strictly herbivores. That's why we have canines for the meat, and a lot of chompers in the back, man, for the veggies, man. We have to have a balance in our diet. Lord didn't make no mistakes when he put us together, man. He knew exactly what he was doing. And this shit that you hear going around, especially in the alphabet community, where they talk about, I wasn't born this, he just put me in the wrong body. Man, it's an abomination, man. That's blasphemy against the Most High, man. And that's what I talk about, when they talk about that new, people come preaching a new Messiah, man, a new Christ. And a lot of these churches, man, and even these so-called big-time so-called preachers, man, they won't speak on it. They turn a blind eye to it, man. How are they supposed to be the man of the Lord and they're not speaking on these things? That's their position that they're supposed to be doing, man. They tap dance all around that truth, man. T.D. Jakes, for one, I remember seeing it one time, somebody had questioned him about it, and he tap danced all around it, man. The truth is the truth, man. It don't change for nothing. Lord said, his word changes not, man. And that's over the period of time, it stays the same. Only thing that changed, that has changed, is that we don't do animal sacrifices no more. We don't do that no more. And of course, in the times we're in, we can't go out here and hand out harsh judgment. But we're supposed to speak out against these things that's abominable to the Lord, man. And if you call yourself a Christian, so these so-called people that's in these church houses, man, then you're lying to yourself. You're not following the Bible, man. You're not following Scripture. And a lot of these people in these churches, man, don't know the Bible. They don't know anything about that Bible. They know a few verses. And that's it. Because they're not teaching in these church houses, man. They're not teaching the true word of the Lord. They give a few precepts in the 4-hour-long sermon of smooth words, man, telling them what they want to hear and how they can achieve and be more part of this world, man. Which the Bible tells you, this is not our world, man. This is not our time. We're supposed to be aliens to this world. And not to say that we just give up and move off on an island but we have to live within it. But that should not be our main focus, man. The Lord is going to give you what you need, man. And I was watching a brother's video today, and he was talking about money, you know, and how the love of money has ruined a lot of our people, man. It's going to lead a lot of people into a trap. And we're getting close to the end of this trap, man. Because they're corralling our people to the end of it. Because Jake is so focused on getting the bag, man. They use the Bible so it'll fit them as an excuse to go out here and put aside what the Lord has told them to do, to justify their means of neglecting that just so they can achieve to get the bag. But yet they call themselves Christians, man. You're not doing the true word of the Lord, man. You're not doing the Lord's work. That bag ain't gonna save you in that end time, man. In that hour of temptation. A lot of you gonna get caught holding the bag. And I kind of relate that to as an African proverb, man. Actually, not even a proverb. It's something where I read how they used to catch monkeys over in Africa. They were cut a hole out in the tree or something stationary, just big enough for the monkey to put his hand in there and to be able to pull it back out. Well, inside of that box or that tree, they would put a shiny object in there. And they were hanging in there so that monkey could see it. So you know how monkeys real curious and all that. And once he put that object in his hand, once he reached in there and grabbed that object and hold that object in his hand, he forms a fist around that object. And because of the monkey's greed, he's not gonna turn that object loose. So when he grabbed that object and tried to pull his hand out through that hole, his fist is too big to fit through the hole. Now monkeys are very intelligent creature. But because of his greed, he's not gonna turn that object loose. So when he's trying to pull his hand out through that hole to get away, because by the time the hunter comes up with his stick in his hand, the monkey is trying to pull that item out through that hole, man, to get away, but he can't turn it loose. And why can't he turn it loose? Because of his greed. And that's the same thing with our people today, man. That's what the same thing is gonna get them trapped in the end on that hour of temptation, man, because our people are so greedy, so busy trying to get the bag, they're gonna get left holding that bag, man. Because E is gonna put you in a compromising position when it all said and done, that you're gonna have to take that MOTV. You're gonna have to take that mark, that charagma, in order to be able to sustain your bag. One thing about this devil, man, he does a diligent search, man. He studies his psychology to the point to see how you Jakes think. He knows exactly what your temptations are, and he's going to use that against you to trap you, man. You're going to be just like that monkey out there. Can't let go of that shiny object. You know, Jake loved to shine, man. Jake loved to shine. You can look at our music industry, man. Jake don't have 2 pennies rubbed together in the bank. A lot of these artists, man, they're just living off of borrowed money. A lot of them don't even have the money that they portray. But just so he can get out there and shine, man, he'll sell his soul, man. Just like that monkey, man. Just like that monkey in the jungle. A lot of our college-educated jakes out here, you know, got a nice job and all that. You're gonna get caught in the compromising position in the end. They just tested you about 2 years ago. You know, with that jab, you know, whether you're gonna take that jump shot and keep your job. And a lot of jakes fail that test. Because all that was a precursor to what's coming next, man. I think they got like 75% of the population to agree. That's gonna be like the 2/3 of our people that's gonna be destroyed in the end, man. It matches perfectly. They know. Now they know who's gonna give in during that time. Same way it's gonna come one time for the MOTB when they shut this system down. And you're gonna have to convert all your money over in the bank to this digital system. And the only way you're gonna be able to buy or sell unless you get that CHIP, man. You know we have to talk in code because they won't allow you to speak any of the truth. Anything that's going to conflict with their propaganda, their programming. And that's how they're gonna jam a lot of you jakes up, man, because you're not gonna be able to let go of your possessions that you acquired here, man. Go back in Matthew, I think it was in Matthew, when the guy had a lot of possessions. You know, he said, I do all this, you know, I do this, you know, I follow this law and that law. And he said, what more do I need to do, Lord? He said, go back home and sell all your possessions and come follow me. And the man looked at the Lord, you know, I got all these possessions. And that's when the Lord said, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than to come into the kingdom of the Lord, man. Because more shit that you got, the harder it's gonna be for you to be able to get out here and do what the Lord has asked you to do. A lot of you ain't gonna wanna leave that nice car behind if it comes to, which is really not your car. A lot of you not gonna wanna have to separate from them houses that's been overpriced and you paying 3 times the rate for. A lot of you jakes ain't gonna separate from the world, man, because you are part of this world. You love this kingdom that we in, man. You love this evil rulership that's ruling over you. That's forcing all this wickedness on you, man. Jake don't want to see no change, man. Jake don't want to see new rulership. Jake don't want to see the world being harmoniously, if that's a word. Don't want to see the world ran in harmony, man. That's lined up with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Jake is perfectly fine with the shit right now the way it is, man. In order to make change, sometimes you're just gonna have to be you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. In order to see new change and rulership on the earth, man, shit's gonna get funky out here, man. Shit's gonna get very uncomfortable. And they're gonna put you in an uncomfortable position, especially in Babylon the Great, man. They gave you all the comforts that you can dream of. And then when they take that from you, they're gonna put you in a compromising position because Jake is not used to going without. Jake ain't used to going without 3 meals a day. Jake is not used to going without hot water. Jake is not used to going without heat, air conditioning, hot food. So when that time comes, man, a lot of you Jakes gonna fold quickly, man. That's why we should be practicing ourselves now for these hardships, man. And putting ourselves willingly through the fire of adversity, man. The Lord's putting it on you anyhow, because that's what's going to put us in that perfect state, man, at the end. By putting us through this fire of adversity. But you should be willingly putting yourself through it on your own, just to prepare yourselves, man. Where you doing that, you afflict your own soul, sometimes by fasting as often as you can. I know it's not convenient to fast every day, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're working a lot of hours, man. Of course you can't fast then, but fast whenever you can. Try to find time for that. And the Lord's gonna put adversity on you anyhow. That's when you think shit's going right, something's gonna break down, and it's gonna try you to see how you're gonna be able to deal with it. It's gonna put some of your friends and family against you, to try you to see how you're gonna deal with it. See if you're gonna rely on him, man. Or are you gonna fold under pressure? Once you come into this truth, man, it's not gonna be easy walk, man. The Lord's gonna try you out. He's gonna make you prove yourself, man. All that is done in order to fashion you into these new bodies, man, that we're looking forward to receiving. And Lord willing, we're able to endure this thing to the end, man. That we're able to finish this training camp. Because right now, we're in a time of mercy, man. Thanks to Yahushua, who laid it all on the line for us on that cross. All right, well, hopefully this is edifying. With that, say shalom.